Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Marco from Digital Dash. Today, I'm going to be doing a trade recap and a trade review for two trades I took today on ES, and I'm going to talk about what I did right, and what I did wrong. So, pretty much getting right into it. I want to start off by saying I did have a pre-market plan that I came up with last night. I sent this out at 11 p.m. last night. I was saying it was nice they were holding above this 4,300 area, and I want to see a strong push back through 4,317. That was last night at 11 p.m. So we had a plan. We wanted to come to the market and execute that plan that we had from last night. Things started to go wrong. First thing first in the morning. As soon as we woke up, things started to go wrong. First things first, I came to the market at 10 a.m., right? Usually I'm already at the market by 9. Usually I'm already up, ready to trade. And I don't know if I was too comfortable last night. I did have the AC on cranking. I don't know if I missed the alarm or I just hit snooze or whatever the case may have been. But I came to the market at 10 a.m. And I was just coming to the market looking for a trade. I just came to the market right out of bed. Didn't really have time to wake up. Didn't really have time to get no blood flowing to my brain or nothing. Like that's not a good habit to form in the early stages, because one day it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars on the line that we're making decisions to trade with, and we got to come to the market in the best shape to perform. It's a high performance sport. And if we're managing tens of thousands of dollars on a trade and trying to, execute how we need to be executing, then we need to be coming to the market ready to perform and not just rolling out of bed, treating it like it's, something that doesn't matter. That was one of the first things I did wrong, just rolling out of bed, come to the market at 10 a.m., not having any time to look back at what really happened pre-market and what happened during market open, and doing the additional analysis I do when I first come to the monitors. I just got up, rolled out of bed, and started looking for a trade. So that's something that I can't continue to do. This is what we're looking at overnight. We saw that we continued to hold above this 4,300 overnight when we sent that out, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this, a hold above this area, and then we wanted to see that push back above the 4,317. And then overnight, that's what we got. We got a small dip back below the 4,300s, but then pushed back above. And then when we opened this morning, we got that strong push back above that 43.16 level. So again, all we had to do was stick to the plan, really, right? We were looking for demand to be left at the 43.16, but what I didn't notice this morning was that we broke supply. So this broken supply that was strong enough to take out this structure, this could act as a broken supply turn demand, and that's what we were looking for. So in the pre-market plan, when we said demand left behind would be ideal at 43.17, this is what we were looking for, right? When I came to the market this morning, it was pretty much this perspective. I missed this zone completely. I was just looking for demand that we could take, because I saw we pushed back above 43.17. I was just looking for demand that we could take. And because I rolled out of bed, came to the market, I simply missed this zone here, which was a zone that was strong enough to cause a breaking structure, take out this lows, and it was obvious supply. I missed that, right? Because I wasn't in the optimal state to perform. So that was the first thing I did wrong. Second thing I did wrong, I will also blame this on coming to the market, rolling straight out of bed. I got it on recording. The rest of this video is pretty much going to be breaking down and recording. Came to the market. Pretty much I was saying, I just got out of bed. I'm documenting on video what state I'm in, how I'm feeling emotionally. I said, I'm just now getting out of bed. I'm coming to the market. It's 10 a.m. Right? Here, I got a filled in the first order. I was going short. Watching the tape, 42.26 was just acting super weird in this area. That 42.26.50 price was just acting really strange in the 43.26 area. And I wanted to see a push back down, pushing through this area right here, and then targeting back into the demand at 43.14 where we drew up. At this point in the video, I'm realizing, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I realized that I was trading the wrong contract. So on my trading platform on Tradeovate, there were different contracts loaded than the contracts that I was looking at when I came to TradingView and typed in ES. Right? So this is me recognizing what's happening. I'm like, WTF? Why is the price moving so? Why is my P&L moving so strange here? So when I went to add on the to draw up the trade, it said I got in at like 43.90. And I'm like, what? Price is at 43.26 right now. How did I get in at 43.90? Then that's when I recognized I was trading the wrong contract. So at that point, I should have immediately got out, right? I should have immediately got out. But since this trade I was getting in short here and price was moving down, I'm basically trading the same thing, but it's different volume and it's moving differently. But the trade started to work. I still wanted to see a push down. I got in like short around this area and I want to get a push down. So I thought maybe we could get it. I was trying to calculate what is it on when I'm trading. Is it still 10 points? What 10 points? Where does my target and where does my exit have to be on the contracts I was actually trading? But at that point, I should have just got out. Look how much this, look at the difference. Look at the discrepancy in P&L versus what I was actually trading. So at this point in time, I should have just closed for whatever. And it was a blessing that I was green at the time. I should have just closed, right? Instead, I didn't. Price started pulling back. Yeah, we were down as much as $63 at one point. And then at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and close. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of this for a small loss. Because I'm doing something wrong. Then here, when we pull back into this 43.26 area, I had the right ES contracts loaded, and when I saw that, I went long. I still had the wrong P&L on the other contract, so I fixed that in a second, right? This is when we went back to pre-market plan. So again, this green candle before this big red candle just so happened to be 43.32. So now going back to pre-market plan, we wanted to see a strong push through 43.32. So perfect, right? Exactly as we call for pre-market. Everything is going to plan now. So let's see. So here we started to get a push into 43.32 and we started to see price reject. Here in the video, I'm saying they definitely don't want to give us that 43.32. So again, that should have been my sign to close the position, right? That's one of the things I could have did. In order for me to see this trade working, I need to see a strong push through 43.32. So that could have been a sign right there. This trade's not working. Maybe I want to close the position and try again. Or this trade's not working. Where could it go? And where could I? That's a better area for me to put on risk at, right? It would have been nothing for me to just, this is not working out how I wanted it to. Close out for a small win here, and look for a better opportunity in the market, right? We're getting that strong push into 43.32 here. That's what we're starting to see, and we're starting to see some rejections. Now again, my stop loss now, the reason I got in the trade was because this strong selling, we were struggling to stay above this 43.26, and then we broke back above it, and when we aggressively pushed back into it and held the 43.26. So my stop is below this 43.26 here. That's my rationale for this trade, right? We did still want to see a strong push through 43.32. So we could have taken that small win when we saw that we weren't getting a small push through 43.32. And I didn't see much absorption on the tape. That's what I'm saying here in the video. So I allowed the trade to still work. I just accepted the risk here. And because we held above that 43.26 previously, I was thinking that we should be good as long as we continue to hold above it. So that's the reason why I allowed this trade to work. I was hoping we would get a push here. This was really the biggest sign here, because now that we got that flip and more strong buying, look at all that aggressive buying that came in right back into 43.32. We started to get that push up. So I thought the trade was going to be good here. And then boom, we started to see some rejections. So boom, more strong buying right into that 43.32. And then we started to see a big red candle, right? And here in the video, I'm starting to question, was it absorption? We got strong buying into 43.32 and didn't see the continuation we needed. At this point, we should have got exited the trade. We were even up enough that we could have moved our stop up. But I still wanted to see us hold above this 43.26 level. That was my thinking during this trade. Once we started pushing up this last green candle before the red candle, of course I was wanting to see a strong push between there. So that area is about 43.28 now. Now we have to see a strong push through 43.28 and 43.32. So the trade started to look bearish, and I was ignoring these signs during the trade, simply just because I wanted to see 43.26 stay intact. Again, not a bad, it happens. Not every trade is gonna be a winner. It's not bad that we took a losing trade, right? But we did. There was multiple things that we spotted that could have prevented this. And that's what I'm realizing as I'm looking back. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How can we spot what's happening in real time so we can prevent some of these losses? Even at this point, we didn't have to let this go to stop loss, right? Yes, we knew we wanted to see 43.26 hold, but even now in the video, I'm saying buyers are not being rewarded. We're seeing on the tape more and more struggles that this is happening, especially after very, very strong buying into 43.33, right? So we got down to a 43.26 that we wanted to see, and we noticed that buyers weren't being rewarded on the tape. So even with that, I still had a chance to get out at an $18 loser. I still had a chance to get out at a $22 loser here and close the position because it wasn't working. We wanted to see a strong push and break through 43.32. We didn't see that. Now we want to see a nice strong buying coming at 43.26 and defend this level, and we didn't see that either. So at this point in time, we could have just went ahead and closed this out. But we ended up taking our full loss here. I think it was about 50 bucks there. And then the first loss we took from the technical difficulties and trading the wrong contracts was about a $20 loss. So we're down $71 on the day. And that's pretty much that. I recorded it so we could see what was happening. I took the trade based on the tape, based on the level that I saw form on the tape. I don't think it was a bad trade, but eventually the trade started breaking down and pushed back into the levels that we were ultimately watching. It broke back down and pushed back into 43.19. And we've been rallying all day since we pushed into this 43.19 here. We pushed back into 43.16 actually. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys for the video recording. As you guys saw, after it stopped us out, we pushed down. We got that strong selling back through the level that we were watching before. When we were in short here and we wanted to see strong selling through this level to push us into the zone, we got that push down, we got that break. Just like we saw at the highs, strong buying into a level where price rejected, absorbed that buying and rejected. We saw a strong selling back into 43.16, where 43.16 absorbed that selling and buyers came into the market. So 43.16, we knew it was the level we wanted to see. Even at 11 p.m., we said we wanted to see a strong push through 43.32. So the fact that we were in a trade, got a push into 43.32, and we didn't see continuation, that should have been our sign to get out of that trade. And it's different because, sometimes you got to put the trade on, put the risk on, and allow the trade to work. But in this case, we already knew from last night we must see a push and close through 43.32. So the fact that we didn't see that, with that context, with that information, and in these circumstances, it would have been fine to close this trade and move on and look for a better trade. Right? In the future, you shouldn't just close every time, allow the trade to work. But with this context, knowing that we must see a push, even from 11 p.m. last night, we must see a push and close through 43.32. It would have been acceptable for us to take that small win and look for a better opportunity, and even close, when our loser was still small with that additional context. It would have been even, we didn't have to take that full loss. So the first trade was a mistake. The second trade was a reasonable trade, but it could have been managed a lot better. And then, of course, we could have stuck to our pre-market plan, our full pre-market plan. The levels, we already found what levels we wanted to watch. We already knew what levels we wanted to execute based off of. All we had to do was execute and stick to those levels and stick to that plan. So what did I do right today? The one thing I did do right, I didn't overtrade, right? We took our loss, or we took our loss, and then, I saw it push into 43.16. I didn't overtrade. I still had risk. I I was still within my risk of how much I can lose in a day before it'll be hard to recover from. And I could have put on a little risk at this level. I could have put on a trade at this 43.16, but I was trying to stay disciplined and not turn my losses bigger than they had to be by continuing to trade. But I could have put on a little bit of risk to see if this level worked. But I didn't know if we were just going to push back into this 43.23 and reject and then tap into the demand I was waiting for or what. So I didn't. But the one thing I did do right was, walking away after we had that. I said, okay, I'm down $71. This is something I can easily come back from, right? This is something I can easily come back from. So I'm going to just walk away. I wasn't in the optimal state to trade. I wasn't in the optimal state to perform. So I said, I'm going to just take these losers and come back tomorrow. So that was one thing I did do right. What was another thing I did do right? The analysis, bro. The analysis was great as well, right? We picked out some good levels. So the analysis was good as well. But we did more wrong. We came to the market right out of bed, not in an optimal state. We ignored our analysis during the trade management. We wanted to see a strong push through 43.32. We didn't see that. We were impatient. We could have just simply waited until this move happened. If we were just patient today and waited, came to the market and watched the market for a better opportunity to set up. I just jumped in. I just saw a strong move down, saw a level was struggling on the tape, and then just took a trade based off that level, right? When really we could have just waited for the areas that we already found to trigger, to take a trade based off. So I was also a little bit impatient today, and yeah, we could have just managed that loss a little bit better. So yeah, man, ended up losing $71 today. Again, nothing crazy, nothing we can't come back from. The biggest thing is I gotta not overtrade. I can't have that $71 loser turn into a $200 losing day or something like that. So that was my goal today. As long as we can limit our losers, our losses will take care of themselves. I don't think trades like this happen often, right? I think this was simply because I was just not in the right state of mind to be making this the trading decision. It started off, again, it started off not bad. We're in a little bit of profit. But when it comes down to the managing it, you got to make decisions. You got to process information quickly, and when it's happening right in front of you and right in real time. And I'm gonna blame that on just not being in the right optimal state today to trade. So that's the biggest thing. Come to the market clear-headed. Come to the market up, work out, meditate, whatever you gotta do, and treat it like a business. Treat it how you're supposed to treat it, because we are making financial decisions at the end of the day. So we want to protect that capital and make sure we're doing the right thing for our trading. So if you guys enjoyed this, if you learned something from it, make sure you leave a like, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss another video, and I'll catch you on the next one.